in Burley, it was an ordinary shop like any other shop. Sybil Leek was a witch that was in Burley, and she actually named this shop the Coven of Witches.
She came from Lancashire, and she had a very interesting upbringing. She didn't have sort of usual standard schooling. She also had her famous Captain Hotfoot Jackson, which was her,
Little bird, isn't it?
her pet jackdaw.
She didn't actually have this shop, it was a shop next door. But basically, Sybil Leek was a very young girl who used to disappear sometimes. Her mother always wondered where she'd gone to, and she was always with the gypsies, so she learned how to do the potions, learned to work with herbs and animals and so on and so forth. And then as she got older, she's trying to bring the witchcraft ways into the village. In 1953, the Witchcraft Act was repealed, and that means up until then you could be jailed for being a witch. There was another witch in Highcliffe, and gradually, bit by bit, she started a coven called the Horse Coven, and it was based on horses, obviously known as in this particular village.
All the Wicca you see these days on TV and that is the birthplace is here, not Glastonbury. But actually, witchcraft has been in the forest. King Rufus's times, he was the last sacrificial king in the old craft. So magic, witchcraft isn't this fairy tale, you know, do a spell on you, all this stuff. It's deeper than that. It's actually, it's the traditional old ways. It's the turning of the cycle, the seasons. And people honour the seasons and the cycles. And that's where the church came along, didn't like the idea that you had to be subservient to the church. If you weren't, then you were evil, you were bad. So that's where all the demonising began to happen. And that goes back hundreds of years. You start getting the burning of the witches and things like that. But the New Forest is a very magical place for the old magic. It's been going forever and ever.
So, and I do know witches.
Do you know witches?
Yeah, I know everyday witches that you wouldn't believe they have everyday jobs, and you wouldn't even know that they were witches. And they only do good.
So witchcraft is not do a spell and curse you. Even though they do all those things, they do rituals, they do their rituals because they honour the sacredness of the land. It's called honouring the Mother Earth, the things which are real, and the powers that run through everything and through us. That's the real witchcraft. All the spells and magic and things like that, that's from Disneyland, or Disney World, I should say, or Disney films.